We tend to talk about addictions a lot of times as though it's a problem that affects poor people.
Mm-hmm.
We try to pretend that it doesn't affect upper class, that it doesn't affect white neighborhoods, that it doesn't involve people who go to church, that it doesn't involve this, that, or some other category in which we find ourselves. I think you had a story about someone who was talking to an EMS worker.
Yes, so there
along those
was
lines.
there was a event going on at one of the schools, and there was conversations going on about addiction with the parents. And there was a parent that raised her hand and was asking questions about, how do they know if their kid is hanging out with people, drug addicts? And it got flipped to, how do you know if your daughter's using? And no, 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 not my daughter. I just want to know if she's hanging out with bad people, is how she said it. And it turned, they were telling them, long sleeves, all the different signs, isolation, all these different things. And then the conversation about Narcan was brought up. And there was a lot of parents that were saying, we spend our money on this, this is ridiculous. We shouldn't have to pay for people, it's not our job. And then a couple weeks later, one of the EMT workers that was at that opioid conversation did a house call to the lady, and her daughter had overdosed, and they used Narcan. And I think it put everybody, if you can imagine how she must have felt. And nobody deserves that. I don't think, I don't think the lady was a bad person. I don't think that, but it's very easy to look from the outside in versus being inside. And, I see a therapist personally, and she's told me before, I'm not, if you're in this hole and you're struggling, I'm not putting down a rope and reaching for you to come up. She's like, I'm coming down there with you, and we're going to work our way up. And I think it's kind of one of those situations. It's easy to look from the outside in.
Mm-hmm.